Yo, what's up, everybody? Robert, Michael, Marcus. Hope you're all having a good evening. Let's talk some Jags. Let me fix my mic. What the frickin'? All right, now we got it. All right. Ready for a big dub this week. Yep. We need the Texans to lose tomorrow night, which I'll be streaming that. And then we need to win. If the Texans win, we need to win, and then we got to beat the Titans. So, but let's hope that the Texans make it a little easier on us. So all we got to do is beat the Colts and already lock it down. But we still have to fight. There is still a chance for the number one seed. If the Chargers keep going on that roll and they beat the Broncos. Broncos almost lost to the Chiefs last night. We'll talk a little bit about that. Broncos, the past 2 weeks have not looked good, and maybe we kind of sparked that to make them look a little bad. But going up against nothing but third-string guys and Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, Broncos did not look good in that matchup. It was too close. They played down to the level of the Chiefs, and even the Chiefs were making terrible play calls. They were playing scared. They were playing like a team that had something to lose. You know, you're out of the playoffs, man. Just you're trying to play into the upset, but they did not even try. What's up, RBJ? Yes, Patriots need to lose as well, but that's probably not going to happen, unfortunately. They've had a cupcake schedule all season, and they end the season with a cupcake schedule against the Jets and the Dolphins. They're both division games. Could one of those teams possibly pull off an upset? Yes, because the Ravens, who are beat up as well, had a 11-point lead on the Patriots, and they gave that up pretty quick. Took Derrick Henry out of the game, and they kind of lost that. Yeah, losing Lewis sucks, but we've got some good guys ready to get back in there. Jerry and Jones is great. Buster Brown, fantastic. Greg Newsome, he makes really good plays and he's pretty solid, but he makes one or two stupid decisions a game, and he lets up a big gain, and those kind of hurt us a little bit. He kind of gives those up, but you can't really blame him too much. He's still only been here for about a month and a half, so. But yeah, I don't blame him fully for that. But we're pretty solid. I would love to have had Jordan Lewis, but it's all right. There he is, the naughtiest Jaguar elf. Talking about me? I'm closer to Santa Claus than I am an elf. Or are you talking about that? That's my guy right there. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh, you're talking about the guy over my shoulder? Yeah, don't you dare. Still. Don't you dare. That is my Jaguar. I've had that Jaguar since I was in 3rd grade, dude. That's my dog right there. He's been with me through tough times. I do not catch on quickly. I thought you were talking about me. I might be a little naughty and Jaguar, but I'm no elf. That's my not my elf on a shelf. That's my Jag on a CRT. I can't play that in any type of I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't wait to get into I'm going to do my score prediction at the very end. I'm also going to do a short. I don't know if I'm going to just clip it and make a short out of it or create a different short. I don't know, but I can't wait for my score prediction here. Sauce Gardner's coming back for the Colts. Phillip Rivers is still in. They have a slight chance, especially if Houston does lose this weekend on Saturday, the Colts have a little bit more to play for. So it could be a little bit tougher, but I still have a pretty good score in my head that I'm excited about. Yeah, if the Texans lose, then the Colts are out. They have nothing to play for after that. But Phillip Rivers is still going to play because he's the one that's been practicing all week and preparing. So we will play against him. I haven't even touched the Pick'ems, Palm Bay. Oh, man, look at him. He's chilling, dude. Look at him. Chilling.
Fall asleep like that.
He is. He's asleep. His eyes are closed. Well, kind of. They're almost fully closed. He's drugged out, dude. He's on Prozac. Well, still, it's in his system. He's on Kitty Prozac. You guys usually don't see him on stream. It's usually the other cat that comes in here and wreaks havoc sometimes. Actually, since the office has been in here, she hasn't been in here that much. Just handle them like we did every other team over the past 6 weeks. That's what we got to do.
He's a good kitty.
I'm that type of cat. Tell him to share the wealth. Yeah, he's... Here, slide him over here. Let's get him on camera a little bit more. Look at him. Look at him chilling. His name's Champa, by the way.
Chillin' Champa.
Chillin' Champa.
Does anybody know where that name is from?
Yeah. Extra points to whoever can tell us where the name Champa comes from. I don't know how it happened, but the media somehow Yeah, Sauce will more than likely be on BTJ, but that's just going to open the field up for Jacoby. But I still think Trevor's going to take shots at Sauce for sure. I've seen that, man, and it kind of diminishes the Jags win over the Broncos, and I hate that. I don't think the Broncos are frauds. I just think that they played down to the level of the Chiefs when they shouldn't have. But it is what it is. Did you get your cat name from Dragon Ball Z? Well,
It's not Z.
it's not Z, but it is Dragon Ball. But yeah, I do not agree with the Broncos or frauds talk. Will they be first round exits? I would say no. If they were to play either the Bills or the Jags, is that trouble for them? Probably. I think the Broncos could beat the Texans. I think the Broncos could beat the Steelers.
Look who else?
Oh, see, there's the other cat. Where was she at?
She was sitting right at the door.
Oh, she heard us talking about her. Extra points for anybody who can guess where the name Panda comes from.
What? That's a lot.
See, look at her. She's crazy.
Yeah, she doesn't like to be held.
She's crazy. Yeah, Myers and Parker Washington could have a gigantic game. And then against Tennessee in a couple weeks, which I'm going to the Tennessee game, by the way, so I will not be streaming that game, but I will be streaming throughout the week to prepare for the Jags-Tennessee game. But I think Trevor spreads the ball out against Tennessee. I think everybody gets the ball. What's up, Corbin? True, Michael. True. A team could be like, oh, now we got to focus on Parker Washington, and then BTJ just has a huge game. That's the thing. If a team focuses on one player, like ETN, or if they focus on the run game in particular, oh, well, we're going to get you with ETN in the pass game. If they focus on BTJ too much, oh, well, we got Parker Washington, we got Jacoby. If they focus on Jacoby, we got the other two guys. If they focus on Parker, we got the other two guys. Our offense is now set up to where if somebody's locked down, they're still going to get the ball every now and then, but that's going to leave the other guys open, especially Parker and Jacoby, who can work the middle of the field and create big plays. BTJ is that deep threat who, if Trevor is unleashing, with Jacoby and with Parker, you're going to hit BTJ for a 40 or 50 yard gain down the field. You're going to catch them off guard. And we've seen that throughout the past 6 weeks. We've seen some really deep shots to BTJ. And I think that's going to play a big part in the playoffs. I think we're going to see a lot of deep shots to BTJ. I don't think Liam or the Jags offense is going to slow down. I think they are going to continually put the foot on the gas and just keep working the receivers, man. Just keep working the receivers. Trevor's has a hot hand right now. Keep playing that hot hand. And I'm all for that. Yeah, we focused on that last time. We held Taylor to what, 84 yards total. I think we hold him underneath 100 again. And then you got to make Phillip Rivers try to make plays, and he cannot throw the ball past 20, 25 yards. So you lock the run game down. You stuff the run. You make Phillip Rivers throw it, and he's going to make mistakes. Our defense, compared to what we just saw against the 49ers, who destroyed the Colts, we have a better defense. We have a more opportunistic defense than the 49ers. We are going to make them turn the ball over a lot. Now, do I foresee Jonathan Taylor turning the ball over like he did against us last time? Probably not. He's gonna hold on to the rock, but Phillip Rivers could throw a few picks. We're gonna get in great field position because of our secondary. They're gonna lock it down. We're gonna get a lot of pressure. We're gonna force Phillip to, and that's another thing. Our guys might not get home a lot, but when they do, they hit hard. They destroy quarterbacks. If Trayvon or Josh Allen were to get home on Phillip Rivers, Uncle Phil could be a little dangerous. You don't see a blowout in their house? I'm not going to say, when I do my score predictions, I'm not going to say it's going to be a complete blowout. Do I think we win pretty handily? Yes. Blowout? Not so sure. But I think we do go in there and handle business either way. Yeah, no, Jonathan Taylor is going to focus on, he's good about fixing mistakes. He fumbled against us because he was trying to make plays happen for his team. I don't foresee him making that same mistake again. Even if they're behind by a lot, I don't foresee him trying to reach out and make a stupid play so the ball gets knocked out. I think he performs pretty well, but I think our run defense still is gonna halt him and force Phillip to make plays, and it's just not gonna work out well for him. But again, like I said, Sauce is back. He will more than likely be covering BTJ. They might put him on Jacoby. We'll see. I still don't think people fully understand how good Parker Washington is, so they're gonna continue putting a second or third guy on him. Let me pull up the stats here. I hate that it gives me Daniel Jones stuff because he's not in. Trevor, though, looking magnificent. Also, Travis Etienne only needs one more yard to hit 1,000. That definitely happens on, like, the very first play of the game. Travis Etienne is going to break 1,000 yards on the very first play of the game. And who knows, maybe he'll get he'll just break a 25, 30-yard run. First run of the day. we win by more than 21, then yet it's over, but might be the same as last time we played the Colts. I mean, we didn't win by 21, I don't think, last time, but we handled them pretty well. Yes, Tim Patrick had a great game. Again, that's another guy that I didn't talk about. Tim Patrick, who has the ability to get some good receptions, especially near the red zone or the end zone, is looking good. Official Ride Nirvana with $20. What's going on? Appreciate the 20. Can we get some Duvals in chat? Honestly, don't think this Jags team is better than the 99 team. What's your thoughts? You think this team is better than 99? I have said this before. One advantage that this team currently has right now is that we are well-rounded across the board. We have a great defense. The offense has really just clicked, and we've never seen the Jags offense, and I love Mark Brunell, but we have never seen a Jacksonville Jaguars offense this good ever. They are clicking on all cylinders. Everybody on the team is a playmaker. The run game, the pass game, everything we got going on, tight ends, the blocking, the O-line, every single thing. I honestly, if you were to put this current team right now up against any iteration of Jags, I think we dominate. Even 2017. Now, will that be super close because that was one of the most dominant defenses ever? Yes, but I still think this offense and Trevor Lawrence would be able to handle that team as well. So, yeah, Myers trade's huge, and not only because Myers is playing great football, but because we needed that over-the-middle tight playmaker who could open up our other receivers and our running backs to make plays. That has been one of the biggest, if not the biggest trade we've ever had besides I'm talking about the midseason trades, besides Marcel Darius, who when he came in 2017, the run defense just played out of their minds in 2017. But yeah, this team currently right now, absolutely insane. The defense is great up front against the run. We're opportunistic. We take the ball away. Absolutely dominant on all three phases of the football.
I'm gonna go.
Okay. Yep. Yes, he wanted to go to the Jags and not the Steelers. And then all he asked for was the same contract that he asked from the Raiders, and the Jags said, yeah, you're worth it. Here you go. James Gladstone and Liam said, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We want to keep you around. And I'm so happy that the young guys that we currently have now are going to be around Trevor for a while. I know a lot of Jags fans are saying we need to trade BTJ. I don't think you do that. I don't think you trade Brian Thomas Jr. I think you absolutely keep him around. You keep a lot of these guys around. Yeah, Blake Bortles played very well. We did have some conservative play calling. I love Blake Bortles to death, but this version of Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback play we've ever seen over a certain week period, month and a half, than we've ever seen any quarterback play in Jacksonville. It has been through the roof, off the charts, just insane, the level of play that Trevor Lawrence has had. And we've always seen that, right? We've always seen glimpses of Trevor, great Trevor, but he's never been able to get over the hump. All it took was a coach that was willing to wait, listen, learn himself, and to teach Trevor how to step into his own. And that's what it takes. It doesn't take a coach coming in like Doug Peterson saying, hey, do this my way and you're going to succeed. Liam comes in and says, hey, let's try this out. And if that don't work, let's try this out. You tell me how you feel with this. You know, are you comfortable with these schemes? What do you like best? Which routes for the receivers work best for you? You know, where do you throw at best on the field? And they even figured that out. Trevor, when he rolls out to the left, dominant. Some of his stats when he rolls out to the left are perfect across the board. It's insane. It's insane. And that's what it takes. Liam just coming in and saying, hey, I know how to get you right, but I also need to know what you do best so that I can game plan to benefit that and get the most out of my quarterback. Doug Peterson did not do that. Doug Peterson came in and said, hey, I'm going to call the same plays every single game so that the defenses know exactly what we're doing. They figured us out after that bad Monday night loss to the Bengals. They figured our offense out real quick. And it was just downhill from there. That last year with Doug Peterson was atrocious. Him having Trevor play injured. I know Trevor is a competitor. He wants to go out there. He wants to make plays. He wants to compete for his guys. Understandable. But sometimes you just gotta think about the player and not the team sometimes, because it's going to benefit the team to sit the player to heal more than it would be to have him out there hurt. Yes, Miles Jack was not down, but it doesn't matter. Us as Jags fans can't keep repeating that because we're in the future now. We got to support this team. We can't worry about it. The Jags have a very big opportunity and a very good chance to make a big run to the Super Bowl this year. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here for this team, this current iteration of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I love this team. I love my quarterback. I love the coach. I love the GM, Tony Baselli as EVP. I think we have great pieces on defense, offense, special teams. I think right now we have one of the most dominant, well put together teams in the league. Can you say thank you a little bit to Trent Baalke? He did see the talent level in a lot of these guys. It's understandable. Doug Peterson didn't know how to bring that out, but also Trent Baalke wasn't, I'm going to say he wasn't great with contracts, and he wasn't great with seeing what we needed to fill in, like where our biggest needs were. He always just picked the next best guy. And sometimes that works out, but sometimes you gotta fill the holes on the team with a position that's not necessarily your next on the board. Like if there's a top running back, but then there's a lineman right behind him where you're like, man, I would love that running back, but this lineman could help our current running back. You know, that's where Trent Baalke didn't think properly. That's where James Gladstone is great, because he knows how to pick good players, but he also knows how to piece them together with Liam on the team where they need to go. So I don't know. We can thank Trent Baalke a little bit because some of the guys that we got because of him. Parker Washington, Devin Lloyd, and Trevor Lawrence, that was a no-brainer coming out. But for sure, I mean, Trent hit on a couple guys. That's the biggest thing for me, Palm Bay. I really wish Travis was healthy and on the team, because not only would the team is fun and dominant, but if Travis Hunter was still playing and on the roster currently healthy, it would be even more fun and even more dominant. Devin Lloyd will get an extension. I believe he will. I got faith that Gladstone's potentially working on something for him currently. I think we seal him up before free agency even starts in the offseason. I think we get a couple of deals done for some of these guys that absolutely deserve it. All right, well, going into the game on Sunday, the Jags, it's tough to look at some of the stats overall, because a lot of that, you know, from the beginning of the season was the team trying to come into their own, trying to figure stuff out. But over the past 6 games, The Jags, especially Trevor, they're number one in a lot of categories. But if you mix everything together, we're 7th in the league for points per game at 27.3. I believe over a 6-game period, that's up to about a 34 points per game, which is first in the league. Yards per game averages out to be about 336. Again, over the past 6 weeks, that's closer to like 360, I think, which is going to put us like in the top 8, I believe. Yeah, Colts have Pittman, Pierce, Downs. Yeah, I mean, listen, Colts are a good team. They're a good team. Are they missing key guys all over the place? Yes. Is the quarterback coming in way too old to be playing football? Yes. But yeah, if you still had Daniel Jones in, this game would be way more meaningful, I believe. I think we would probably be, I think the Texans probably would be almost on their way out of the playoffs. And the Colts would be in their position now, but it would mean more because they have us next. So, Pittman, I think, is probably has the edge. Pierce, though, is really good. I think Pierce, stats-wise, might be their best, but I think ability-wise, I think Pittman is probably their best in my eyes. But stats-wise, I think Pierce is their number one guy. Our number one guy, wide receiver-wise, is Parker Washington. So he has 645 yards, and I believe, how many touchdowns does he have? 4 touchdowns, which that will go up. He'll probably get one. He'll probably get one in each game, and he'll probably end the season around 800, a little over 800 yards receiving. Raiders almost beat the Texans. Chargers should play them well. I think the Chargers match up great against that defense. They don't have the best O-line ever, but as far as their wide receivers and Justin Herbert, I think they match up well. Is that game going to be probably 24-17? Probably. The Texans, great on defense, but they can't score points. CJ Stroud cannot get them there offensively. They got a lot of people hurt, understandable, but CJ is not playing good football right now. He wasn't playing good football last year. He hasn't been consistent this year. He missed a lot of games, which aids to the fact that he's not consistent this year. That definitely hurts him a bit, him being hurt middle of the season. But right now, Texans are going to sneak into the playoffs. They're going to lose to the Chargers probably. That last week, they'll probably beat the Colts. But it won't matter anyways. If we beat the Colts, the Texans are in. Doesn't matter if the Texans lose this Saturday. If we beat the Colts, the Texans are in. But if they lose and we win, we have the number 1 seed, and they're probably going to be stuck at the 7 seed. So that's something to watch this weekend. Tomorrow night's going to be fun. Or tomorrow afternoon, I should say. I'm going to be live around 4 o'clock for that game. That game comes on at 4:30. Cornerbacks, Greg Newsome. Johnson's a safety. But we have Greg Newsome. We have Jerry and Jones. We have Monteric Brown. We've got some solid guys. I think we'll be all right. There is no 1 o'clock game tomorrow. There is a 4:30 and an 8 o'clock. It is the Texans Chargers at 4:30, and the 8 o'clock game, I think maybe 8:20. It's the Packers and the Ravens, which I'm probably going to be live for both of those games. I'm definitely going to be live for the Chargers Texans game because that is a definite hate watch. Steppen, if he were here, would tell you that we are 0-4 in hate watches on this channel. But I'm ready to be 1-4 in hate watches. I think Malik Willis, with Green Bay's coaching, has an advantage over the Ravens this weekend. And the Packers are already in the not Super Bowl. They're already in the playoffs. I wish they were going to play in the Super Bowl. I've always wanted a Jags-Packers Super Bowl, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Super Bowl is either going to be, for NFC, is going to be Seattle or the Rams. 49ers could surprise some people. I know Corbin doesn't want to hear that, but they might surprise some people. Do they have a Super Bowl quality team currently with some of the guys they have hurt? I don't think so. But they could surprise some people in the playoffs. They have an efficient offense. Do they have like a dominant offense? No, but it is very efficient. Yeah, Packers won't be able to make a huge run in the playoffs because a lot of their injuries. If they had Michael Parsons fully healthy, and I know Jordan Love should be good, but they have a lot of guys dinged up, and Michael Parsons being that big loss really hurts them playoff wise. We do not have to win out to win the division. If the Texans lose tomorrow, all we have to do is beat the Colts and we win the division. Division's ours. There is still a chance to get the number 1 seed. That's a little bit more difficult because we need the Chargers to beat the Broncos in Week 18, and we need the Pats to either lose to the Jets or the Dolphins, and I don't see that happening at all. But we can seal up the division on Sunday with a win and a Texans loss tomorrow. So we'll know right off the bat if the Texans lose tomorrow, then that game on Sunday is just going to be fun for us to watch because the Colts will no longer have anything to play for except to try to block us from winning the South right away. So they might potentially still play at a very high level for what they have. Now, when I say the Colts are going to play at a high level, for what they have right now isn't that great, but they're still going to try. They'll put in the effort. We knocked them out of the playoffs. They can't knock us out of the playoffs, but we knocked them out of the playoffs a few years ago, the last week of the season. That was pretty devastating for them. They had Carson Wentz as their quarterback. That was fun since we were out and couldn't get in the playoffs, at least that was fun to see us knock them out. Phillip cannot run, so if he gets out of the pocket at all, he's going to either have to sling it away or he's going to get tackled almost immediately. And we have some pretty high pressure rates. Now, we don't get a lot of sacks, but as far as pressure rates, both Josh and Trayvon are pretty high up on the board. I think Josh Hines Allen he's like 3rd in pressure rate. So we're definitely going to put the pressure on him, and we're going to make him have to throw the ball pretty quick. Or grounding, yeah, or grounding. But right now, they have 37 total sacks. We only have 29. That's another thing that I wanted to talk about with Josh and Trayvon. We're not getting home as much as we would need to sack-wise, but we are getting a lot of pressures. There's only 2 games left in the season. We're ranked 25th in total sacks, and that is 29. So that is going to be a tough one to try to get up the board in. But if we can start getting home in the playoffs where it really matters, that's what we need right there. Total turnover differential. We are at a +12, which is 3rd in the league. They're at a +1, which is 12th in the league. So we definitely have them there, but they're still decent with that turnover differential. And interceptions, we are 2nd. And with 19, they are 7th with 13. So they can still take the ball away, but Trevor needs to continue his clean game, no interceptions, just nothing but touchdowns for Trevor would be nice to see. But I feel very confident in the Jags going in, taking on the Colts, and getting the win here. Do you guys, I want to know, before I give my record prediction, I want to know what you guys, or not record prediction, score prediction. I want to know what you guys think the score is going to be. Palm Bay, did you just send me my own video on Instagram? Marcus says 36-21 Jags. I like it. I like it. I will say, Marcus, with your score prediction for them to get 21, I don't foresee them getting just straight touchdowns because we have great red zone defense. They're going to kick some field goals. So 21 points. I don't think it'll be 21 because they're definitely going to kick field goals. Michael says 31-9, which is also pretty good. I think they at least score a touchdown, but I like where you're going with the 9 with the field goals. I think they at least score one. I mean, Phillip Rivers is still going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He can still go out there. He can still sling it a little bit, especially in the red zone where he doesn't have to sling it as far. But I think they at least get one touchdown. I think they at least get one. That's just me. But yeah, for sure, Jags are going to win. They're not losing this game. All right, my score prediction, and I'm gonna do a completely different YouTube short as well. I'm gonna post that tomorrow. But my score prediction is gonna be the Jacksonville Jaguars 38 and the Colts 18. 38-18. Corbin says 33-19. Just win 40-17 Jags. Either one works. I mean, any win works, but you still want to go in there and show dominance right before the playoffs, right? So my score prediction is going to be 38-18. And I know it sounds a little funky with that 18, but there's going to be some field goals and stuff being kicked by them. A lot of them. Because I still think they can get into field goal range. Probably score a touchdown. They might even throw a 2-point conversion in there to try and make something happen late in the game. Let's say we're up already, like 35 to 10. They get a touchdown, 2-point conversion to make it 18. At the very end of the game, some garbage time bullshit, you know. I think that's potentially where that happens. And that, in my mind, is what it is. So I feel like touchdown, field goal. We hold them just to a touchdown and a field goal pretty much the entire game. Fourth quarter, they get a garbage time touchdown and a garbage time 2-point conversion. But I still think we win by 20 points, if not more than that. Titans game next week, though. That's where I believe the Jags, especially if there is a chance for us to get the 1 seed, we go out there and dominate. But also there is a chance that we can only lock up the 3 seed, and that going into that Titans game, nothing matters. And we might see our backups play. And I'm going to that game. So watching a bunch of backups play will be a little weird. But we only do that if Houston loses, we beat the Colts, and there's no way out of the 3 seed. If we're locked into the 3 seed, but we've won the division, then I think for sure we see the backups play against the Titans in week 17 or week 18. Sorry, gotta extend the weeks now, man. My brain still hasn't. It's been a few years now. My brain still can't grasp that we're an 18-week season, which might go up at some point very soon. We're going to eventually see every team's going to have 2 bye weeks in the season, more games. Jags versus Titans game if starters play 46-16. I could see that as well. Don't think there's a way to lock the 3. Okay, so we got to win anyways. I don't know why it glitches at least one. Like, I've only seen it glitch up one time every stream, but it happens like every stream. And I don't know why OBS does that. I don't drop frames. I don't do any of that. I don't know why it's doing that. I hate OBS. I need to swap back over, I guess. I don't know. I might have to swap back over to Streamlabs. I don't know. OBS can't handle all the amount of sources that I have on here. Even though my computer can. I literally have so many sources on here, and my CPU usage is only 5%. So, my computer can handle it. OBS, for some reason, cannot. Streamlabs has always been more capable of me being able to do stuff, so. You were talking about how your brain doesn't work like it used to and it froze. Thought you were doing a bit. No, I wish. I wish I was doing a bit. Because not only does my brain not work like it used to, but neither does OBS. Both my brain and OBS are the same person. Eric, I want to know, what do you think the Jags score is going to be? I've got 38-18 Jags over Colts. And then tomorrow for the Chargers game, what did I say? 24-17 Chargers. I think in the fourth quarter it'll be 21-14, and I think the Chargers kick a field goal to put it up by a touchdown. And I don't think CJ Stroud has it in him to get the win. 31-10. I like it. I said it was going to be like 35-10 in the fourth quarter, and the Colts were going to somehow get garbage time touchdown and a garbage time 2-point conversion. I mean, I would much rather the Chargers blow out the Texans, but that defense, I think, keeps them in it. But CJ Stroud cannot score points to save his life, and that's where I think the Chargers eke out a victory. 29-16 Chargers. Yeah. I think we see Nick Mullins' appearance with 10 left in the game. Hey, Nick Mullins has pretty much just about made an entire solid game's worth of time on the field, you know. We've seen him here and there. Few minutes left in the fourth quarter, one game. 8 minutes left in another game, 12 in another. Like, he's going to rack up a full game's worth of time. Chargers game is going to be a game-winning field goal by Dicker, the kicker, 20-19, which also I could see playing out. And I like the score because the Texans have a hard time scoring 20 points. What is the... Hold on, I gotta look at this. I know this is Jags Colts preview stream, but I gotta look at this. Wow, the Chargers score 23.3 points per game. The Texans score 23.1 per game. So them eking out a win by 1 point is very realistic. It's very realistic. Now, the Chargers are better in yards per game than the Texans. They're better at time of possession than the Texans. They are tied with sacks at 41. They're both tied for 8th in the NFL in total sacks. They are tied in total interceptions, 17 for both teams. The Texans have a better total turnover differential, so they score more points. But yeah, Herbert's a way better quarterback than Stroud. So that's the advantage there. They match up pretty well, evenly defensive wise, but Justin Herbert gives the advantage because he's a better quarterback. Also think they do have a better kicker as well. Dicker the kicker has proven he is pretty solid with the kicks. Lots of trips to Duval this year, man. Might as well live there. Next year, I will be about 2 hours away. A lot closer than I am now. No, my favorite kicker is Cam Mother Effin' Little. That is my favorite kicker. Maybe Dicker the kicker, number 2, just because of his name, you know. Dicker the kicker just sounds cool. I cannot wait for my hate watch stream tomorrow. I really, really hope. And I have a tendency to watch Texans games and they win, but I need to see them lose tomorrow. Like, I need to actually see it. They have a better chance of winning if I don't watch, but I think they'll still get it. I'm a little surprised Cam didn't get picked for the Pro Bowl. There was this huge joke about how Dicker the kicker gets snubbed every year, and he finally got in. I think that may have been a little bit of just a NFL saying, yeah, we're going to let him in. Yeah, he did. He took that spot away from Cam. That's what I said. I think the NFL, maybe he didn't win the votes. Maybe NFL was just like, yeah, we're going to let Dicker take it this time, just because. Oh, yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl, so it absolutely does not matter that most of our players got snubbed. Cam breaks the record. He's been perfect since week 4. Absolutely. And I saw some stuff recently. Some stuff came across my Twitter that some Jags streamers were saying, you got to get rid of Cam Little. Get rid of him. He's a liability, blah, 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 for missing just a couple kicks early in the season. As Jags fans, as a fan of an NFL team in general, we can't have that mentality. Because if a player struggles, he's still young. If a player struggles, you can't just get rid of him and then go through a carousel of potential players that might mess up and you just keep getting rid of. You can't do that. You got to let the players get comfortable after, let's say, giving up an interception or giving up a big pass or throwing an interception or missing a kick. You can't always just replace a player immediately and expect better results. Sometimes you gotta let your guys know that you believe in them and let them learn from their mistakes. Yeah, let them play through struggle. Learn from the mistakes. Whatever happened to that shit? Does no one believe in that anymore? Does no one believe in learning from their own mistakes anymore? If you make a mistake, people just want to get rid of you. They want to move on to the next best thing immediately. Same thing with Trevor, man. He's been in here for 5 years and he has 3 winning seasons, 2 playoff appearances in 5 years. It's not the greatest, but it's not terrible. He's playing. Trevor Lawrence right now is the best quarterback we've ever had on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it is crazy to see. What's up, Super Jags fan? I'm not going to lie. I was pretty hard on Cam and T-Law, but I learned this season to just be patient. Exactly. And I've done nothing but preach that on this channel, is patience, believing in the team, believing in the players. Trust the new coaches and the new GM until they can't be trusted. And that was last year with Doug Peterson. They could not be trusted anymore, and we saw that. Doug Peterson had some weird infatuation with Press Taylor. He called the same stale plays every game. Press Taylor then, in turn, called the same stale plays over and over again. Nothing changed. Mike Caldwell got threw under the bus, and Ryan Nielsen came in, and that defense was just utter trash. So, me, as a lifelong Jags fan, it really irritates me when I see people saying, get rid of them, get rid of them, get rid of them. But it is what it is. Have I said that about players? Yeah. But have I given them tons and tons and tons of chances? Absolutely. You should wear your Duval Dave shirt to the game. Well, I'm going to wear my throwback. I'm wearing my Duval Dave shirt right now. But I'm going to wear my throwback again but this time, the Titans game, it is a throwback game. So I got to wear it. I got to wear it. But again, anybody coming to this channel should realize, that Duval Dave, myself, I love the Jags. I'm going to always support my Jacksonville Jaguars no matter what. If we win 1 or 2 games, and if we're like 2-10 towards the end of the season, am I going to say that we're about to dominate the next team we're about to play? Absolutely. Because that's the type of fan I am. I'm a fan. I am a fan. People need to remember that. They're not GMs. They're not coaches. They're not players. They are fans of the team. The team feeds off of the support that the fans give. If the fans are acting like GMs and trying to say, trade them, get rid of them, blah, 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 don't do this, do that, blah, then the team isn't getting the support, and that hurts them a little bit. Fan is short for fanatic. Absolutely. Exactly. At this day and age with fantasy football, people just automatically think that they know everything when it comes to a football team, and it's the day of the lifelong diehard fan is over. It's over. With fantasy football, people pick a player and not a team. They support that player, and then another player comes in. They're like, oh, I like that guy too. Most fans nowadays, they jump over to a new bandwagon because the player that they enjoy watching plays for a different team. And that's the thing. It's okay to watch other teams and other players play and get excited and play fantasy football. But when it comes to actual watching games on Sunday, it is the Jacksonville Jaguars first, my fantasy team second. Palm Bay just kicked my ass in the matchup before the championship round because he has almost every Jacksonville Jaguar. Am I upset that I lost in fantasy? Absolutely not, because I love watching the Jags ball out, and I was proud to say that I lost to Palm Bay because the Jacksonville Jaguars handled business, and Trevor Lawrence has had a lot of back-to-back-to-back weeks of just being on point and making plays. Exactly. Every fan needs to have that mentality that their team is the best team in the NFL, and if things aren't going their way, then they just got to think, hey, it's going to be better next year. And can you also be critical? Absolutely. Did Doug Peterson last year run its course? Did I visibly get frustrated about that? Did I voice my opinion online? Absolutely. Because it's okay to do so. It's okay to voice your opinion. But, I'm rambling at this point. Do you think Trevor wants to boost stats for personal accolades? No. But do I think Liam Cohen kind of let him do that in the Jets game? Yeah. Because Liam knew that Trevor was balling out, and I think Liam wanted to see Trevor get more than 300 yards passing during that Jets game. Because deep down, Liam Cohen is a fan of the game. He's a quarterback at heart. He played quarterback. He wants to see Trevor ball out. He wants to see Trevor get more yards, more touchdowns. So, do I think that him and Liam necessarily want to do that. Yeah, sometimes, but would they stat pad in an unnecessary situation? Probably not. Who does New England and Buffalo play? Buffalo plays the Eagles, and New England plays the Jets, I believe. Broncos. So Broncos just played the Chiefs. They play the Chargers next week, last game of the season. I love that Liam is just letting him play. It's refreshing as a fan, and I think that alone is boosting Trevor's confidence. Exactly. I said it earlier. I don't know if you were in here, but we needed a coach like that who was going to come in and say, hey, Trevor, you need to fix this. You need to fix that. But also, I want to know your strengths and your weaknesses so I can scheme better around that. And did it work out early in the season? No, there was some mishaps, but they did just enough to win games. Now everything is clicked for Trevor and for Liam, play calling wise and quarterback play, and they are playing off the charts. Who's the bigger weapon this week? Strange, ETN, BTJ, Parker, or Jacoby? I think it's going to be Jacoby. Personally, because I think Sauce Gardner is going to be up against BTJ. Parker Washington has gotten some looks. They might try to, do that. I think Jacoby just has a breakout game. He's been playing solid, but I think this game is Jacoby's game where he gets like 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Number 1 seed is still in reach. It's a little bit more difficult, though. The Pats have to be upset by either the Jets or the Dolphins. The Chargers have a big chance to beat the Broncos next week. So really, we're looking for an upset against the Patriots. That's the biggest one because the Jets aren't good. The Dolphins have the better chance of doing it. So we might not see it this week. Next week might be pretty crazy. I don't know when those games are going to be. Some games on Saturday, some games on Sunday. So I don't know how it's going to fall, but it's going to be a crazy week next week. Yeah, well, listen, we are a small market team. But with that being said, it's some people use it as an insult. Some people don't. But I'm glad that Liam Cohen is able to find a way to use that as fuel for the team. What's up, Storm? Yeah, second seed is worth fighting for also. Absolutely. If we win out and the Chargers beat the Broncos, then we will have the second seed. Yeah, absolutely. It would be nice to have at least 2 home games. The Jags definitely would have a major advantage playing. And I hate that one guy. I posted a short about it who said, nobody's scared about playing them in Jacksonville, blah, 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 whatever. No, that place is going to be packed. It's going to be loud. Yeah, exactly. If the number 1 seed gets upset, then everybody has to go through us. The second, the 2 seed is very obtainable. The Chargers have been on a heater lately, so them beating the Broncos isn't out of the realm of possibility. I think it's very possible for them to do it. But damn it, would it be nice? Would it be nice if the Jets did us another favor like they did a few years ago when they won that game and we locked in Trevor, right? Help us out again. Get us the 1 seed, Jets. Get us the 1 seed. Is Brady Cook the one going out there? Brady Cook, go out there and sling 10 touchdowns on the Patriots. I'm a Jets fan this weekend. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Palm Bay. Absolutely. I've also been discussing ways to get to the Super Bowl if that were to happen myself. If we finish the 3 seed, we're probably playing Buffalo. I would love to get that out of the way. Bring us the Bills, man. The Bills in the AFC are the only team that I feel like pose a threat to us. And if we can get that out of the way and beat them on our turf, just get it over with. Yep, that's exactly. If we beat Buffalo, I think we go to the Super Bowl for sure. Imagine Liam Cohen winning the Super Bowl in his first year as head coach. I mean, going to the playoffs first year is difficult. I mean, Doug Marrone did it, Doug Peterson did it, and then Liam did it. Crazy that we've had 3 coaches almost back to back. Urban Meyer slipped in there for a year and did his thing, but crazy that we've had 3 coaches do it. But I think Liam's the only one that will have sustained success going forward. If Liam goes to the Super Bowl, he's definitely going to blow out that shoulder, and for good reason. For good reason. Yeah, no, the Bills have a great QB. They have a great run game. They have a pretty decent defense, but I think we're more well rounded than the Bills overall. I think on all 3 phases of the game, I think the Jags can dominate. Yeah, listen, the 2 seed is right there. It's right there. But again, it doesn't matter who we play. I think we go into the playoffs and just dominate. I think we keep winning the last 2 games of the season. I think we roll into the playoffs just winning. Just play winning football. Tired of the Herbert bias. Yeah, that's the thing. People are like, Herbert's got to be the MVP now. Look at what he's doing. No, look at what Trevor's doing. Look at what Trevor's doing. Yeah. The media will give Justin Herbert every single benefit of the doubt, but the same thing happens to Trevor. He's trash. They hate the Jags so much, man. It's crazy. Also, let me go back to our game. I wanted to talk about this. It's so funny that everybody made their picks for the Jags game, and everybody has us pretty much winning by a decent amount against the Colts, except for Colleen Wolfe. She has us winning, but she hates the Jags so much, it's only by like 3 points or something like that, which we're definitely not going to beat the Colts by only 3 points. Like, look at who their quarterback is. Look at how many players they have hurt. Just look at the team compared to our team. We're about to have the most hated QB in the league. Oh, for sure. If we win the Super Bowl, he is that's going to fuel so much more hate across the league. Everybody is going to say, "Oh, is this the worst QB to ever win a Super Bowl?" Even though he's been on a crazy run right now, they'll bring that up. They'll say Trent Dilfer's no longer the worst QB to win a Super Bowl. Crazy to see that this is our 4th double-digit win season this century, while we've had 15 double-digit losing seasons this century. Time to win is now. Go all the way now. I absolutely agree. But here's the thing. The time to win is now, but also the time to win is in the future. with Liam Cohen, I absolutely believe, and James Gladstone, making picks and free agent stuff, this team is going to have sustained success for a very, very long time. I don't foresee us having a losing season at all for a while. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, sooner rather than later, but I think we're here. Like, we're winning now. We have success now. Getting to the Super Bowl is not a far-fetched idea. Like, no one would call a Jags fan crazy right now for saying that, hey, the Jags probably going to go to the Super Bowl. If y'all win the Super Bowl, the media could switch up on y'all and say, is this the Jags dynasty loading? They could. There's some people that, like Nick Wright, he'll say that, yeah, I mean, he's not going to say dynasty because he thinks his Chiefs are going to get back to where they are, even though they're not. But there's still some supporters out there within the media, but still, there's a lot of media that will never give us that. Even if we won 3 back-to-back Super Bowls, there'll be some narrative against the Jags. So, in the last 3 games on third down, Trevor was 99.9, 99.9, and 98.9 out of 100. No QB is doing that. Exactly. And it's crazy. People are like, don't cherry pick stats. Like, we're not. Over the past 6 weeks, you can't cherry pick that. He is the best quarterback in the NFL right now over 6 weeks. Am I cherry picking 6 weeks out of the entire season? Some people would say yes, but I'm not, because it is what has happened right now. What are you doing for me lately? And Trevor Lawrence lately, 6 games, is playing the best football of his career, and he is out QBing every QB in the NFL right now. Yeah, the media will flip when convenient, but there's still going to be some haters out there. And I like that, though. It fuels the team, and it fuels the fans. And like I said, the team knows what the fans are saying. The team knows the energy that the fans have. And like I said, if we stay positive and support the team, then they know that, and then they've got something to fight for even more. Front office aren't afraid to admit they were wrong. Once they realized De'Ami Brown wasn't the guy for the offense, they sat his ass down. Yeah, and then they took away, they voided the years off his contract. So Liam Cohen is going to be the reason for multiple coach hires in the AFC South. I 100% agree. We're also going to lose coordinators under Liam Cohen. They're going to go elsewhere. That quick Trevor tunnel speech before Denver was badass. Right? Even him being so calm and just a low tone, just him saying that, like, let's go show them we don't give a shit that they're the best defense in the league. I love that. I love that. He had to learn the most complicated system he's ever been in. It takes time. Not only that, but like I said, we just talked about this with James Gladstone and Liam realizing that De'Ami wasn't going to be the guy for the offense. They made changes. Liam has made changes for Trevor. Trevor's made changes for Liam. And that is why things have worked out, because it's not just one-sided. Liam was like, hey, man, what do I need to do? He probably, and I know he's mentioned this, but I feel like that conversation between the two of them was like, hey, Trevor, man, what can I do for you? What can I do as a head coach to make you more comfortable as a quarterback controlling the team? What can I do? And I feel like the communication between the two has just been off the charts. Speaking of defense, what are your top 5 defenses this season? Whew, man. That's a tough one. Let me come back to you on that one. Yo, Nick, what's up, man? How are you? Man, you know I'm going to throw my Jags in their top 5. I mean, they're one of the most opportunistic defenses out there, taking the ball away when it matters. Best run defense in the NFL stat-wise. Not a lot of sacks, but we have top 3 pressures out of every team in the NFL. And we're just playing consistently good football, holding teams to low scores. I would put us in there, but I wouldn't put us top tier. I'd probably put us at 5 if we're talking top 5 defenses. That is awesome. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm gonna have to put the Texans and the Chargers probably tied at 4. I just looked at their stats. Their defense kind of mimics each other a little bit. They are tied in a lot of stats. So I would say they probably are tied for 4. See, this is where it gets tough, man, because there's a lot of decent defenses, a lot of bad defenses, and let me pull up. Let me pull up. I gotta glance at some of this stuff real quick before I can make my decisions. Michael says Jags, Texans, Denver, Seattle, Bears. I'm going to have Denver in there. I just don't know where, man. The past 2 weeks they just played a bunch of third string guys. Yeah, they held the Chiefs pretty low, but I don't think I'm overly impressed with Denver. Maybe I put them at 3 since I've got the Texans and Chargers tied. I don't think the Bears are as good as it appears on defense. I don't think I'd put the Bears in there. Philly's kind of the same way. I don't think that they're like up there. I could see us trying to get the run game right on Sunday. Interested to see if the Colts look locked in or fade out. Again, it kind of depends on what happens tomorrow night. But I still think they're going to try and do whatever it takes to beat us. I mean, it is a division rivalry type game, you know. I mean, they're not our biggest rivals. I wouldn't say they're our biggest rivals in the AFC South, but it'll get treated as such. Cleveland's defense is really good. It's just that offense is so bad. That offense is so bad. It kind of takes away from the flair of the defense. And that's kind of how it is with the Texans, right? Like, the Texans have a really good defense, but they can't score more than 20 points. So it's just like, are the Texans actually any good? I would put Jags, Texans, Chargers tied for 4th. Man, I think I gotta have Rams and Seattle in there too. It's tough to say top 5 right now because there's a lot of defenses that are kind of evenly matched with each other. 49ers are good. Bengals defense actually isn't too terrible. Cardinals defense they're not top 5. But I think Cardinals defense might be like 12. They're not terrible, but compared to what their offense has been doing, which is sometimes really good, sometimes really bad, they're off. Yeah, Buffalo has to score a lot of points to win. And we've seen a lot of Buffalo games. High scoring on both sides of the ball, or both teams. So I don't think I would put them up there either. I don't know. I think man, it's hard to say a number one defense. Probably. It's either going to be Seattle or Rams. Corbin, you're going to hate me, but I'm going to give the Rams probably the best defense. I think Seattle's too. I think the Rams have the best defense. I don't know. There's a lot of factors, man. The NFL is weird this year. The NFL is weird this year. And I'm not just saying that because the Jags are 11-4 and in the playoffs about to win the AFC South. But there's a lot of just the Ravens aren't in the playoffs. The Chiefs aren't in the playoffs. The Bills are just weird. They're a weird team that are winning games in a weird way. Bengals, who I've always thought are completely overrated, but everybody else is so surprised they're not in playoff contention or they're out of the playoffs. The Bengals have never had it, man. Joe Burrow's an overrated quarterback. The Bengals are an overrated team. Zach Taylor needs to be fired. I think the Bengals are probably the most overrated team in the NFL. Does anybody agree with that? Or am I on my own here? I think the Bengals are the most overrated team in the NFL. They always constantly every year talk about them nonstop. Like, oh, they're going to be the best team. And then it never happens. It never happens. They're never the best team. And I'm not saying that Joe Burrow is a terrible quarterback, but just I think the team probably makes him worse, right? Like he's kind of playing down to the level of the entire team. But yeah, I don't like Zach Taylor as a coach, probably because he's Press Taylor's brother, and Press Taylor is an absolute dummy who doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, definitely most overrated. People keep saying you don't have to face Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow in the playoffs this year, right? Yeah, when has Burrow been relevant? Only that one Super Bowl appearance. Ever since then, it's just been what? Where are the Bengals? What are the Bengals doing? Oh, nothing? Oh, okay, cool. No, no one is afraid of the Bengals, even though they kind of have our number when it comes to their backup. But if we were to play them right now in the playoffs, even though it's not going to happen because the Bengals aren't in the playoffs. But yeah, I think the Bengals, to me, are one of the most overrated teams, if not the most overrated team. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, I've been on here for almost an hour and a half. I've been rambling. I'm going to get off. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the evening. Hope you guys do as well. Tomorrow, I will be back home around 4 o'clock. Going to jump on. We're going to stream. We're going to hate watch the Texans game. So hopefully you guys will come hang out, hate watch. Maybe we'll see the Chargers take out the Texans, and then Sunday we can enjoy a nice, fun game against the Colts to seal up the AFC South. That sounds good to me. All right, I appreciate everybody for being here. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're brand new. Thank you guys so much. See you in less than 24 hours. Good night and do all.